So, yeah, there's really not that much else that I can really, like, do significantly. I mean, I could go out into the monastery and talk to everyone, which is what I probably should be doing right now.
That's right. Can you believe it, Professor? Dimitri actually apologized to me. Remember that awful business between him and my Uncle Randolph? He just came by and said he was sorry for all of that. That was behind us as far as I was concerned. But even so, it seems like he's changed for the better.
Oh yeah, guess what I noticed? I can see further than most other people can see. But I can't figure the point of seeing further than an arrow can fly, since I can't shoot what I see. Yeah, I suppose it could be real useful for finding Lady Rhea, too. Thanks, Professor. I think I get it now. I'm gonna put my eyes to real good use.
I was born with a rare condition, binocular eyes. I have a living pair of binoculars. I can see everything.
Anyway, I was born and raised in Fargus, but I've never actually been to Ferdiad. Do you think it'll still be cold at this time of year? I can't even imagine. You're right. It's an important battle, so let's make sure we're ready for anything.
Yeah, the schedule says take back Ferdiad next, so are we really going straight there? Because I think we'd have at least one chapter before we hit Ferdiad. Yeah, I thought he wouldn't like that, but that's really what he needs to hear right now. It's kind of funny that I'm getting that now, considering I just said I ship her and Dimitri now.
Standing face to face with those whom I went to school with. On the field of battle. How inhuman war is. How horrifying. My heart feels shattered. It is my hope that this war marks the end of such foolish behavior.
Well, no one died, so... I mean...
Yes.
Actually, it's basically like that line that Vinny says in Atlantis. Nobody got hurt. Well, not anyone we knew.
So many people died in the battle at Gronder. And here we are, preparing for the next battle, as if nothing happened the day before. It's almost easier to think about war as theater. With the stage, an entire continent.
So, a kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to perform the swelling scene. I think that's what the line is, but that's like all I know of that play.
Something like that? If an accident happens on stage, the next day's performance must be unaffected. Everyone just pretends like everything is fine, focusing on their role in the play. Are you... Thank you.
I just had to give her stuff because she sounded so depressed.
Need something?
While I'm here. I think authority plus 2 is
This
better.
one? You're all set.
Yeah, it's becoming gold.
See you again soon.
Oh wow, that plus 10% experience though is going to break the game even more than it already has been. Oh wow, Hilda's on the balcony. And somebody has a support with Byleth. Oh, Dorothea, right. That just kind of happened.
Definitely. After that great battle earlier, the balance of power in Fodlan has shifted greatly. To get revenge for all our fallen friends, we'll have to stake our lives on the fight that lies before us.
Well, like, really, I don't know, like, when you play the battle the way I did, these lines seem a little bit awkward, because, yeah, like, honestly, not a lot of people died that time.
I can still hardly believe we managed to win against numbers like that.
Hi, Kyle McCleary.
Oh, unless the real me is lying dead in Gronder, and this is all just a happy dream.
That would be the most depressing plot twist ever, if it would be like, actually, Dimitri died in the last battle, and everyone died, and all this is a dream.
We buried Lord Rodrigue's body ourselves. There wasn't time to do things properly. It pains me that I was unable to take him home to his territory. Once this war is over, I'd like to hold a proper funeral for him. for now. We need to focus on taking back Ferdiad. All will be well eventually. I know we can win.
Yeah, and when that happens, we can hold a funeral for Ferdinand and Lorenz.
What?
Hey,
I don't feel like I can just forget all the awful stuff he's done. But if His Highness is owning up to his past and trying to move forward, I figure I can give him that chance. We've been friends since we were kids. I'm gonna be there for him all the way to the end.
Unless you're recruited on the Black Eagles route, which is likely if you have female Byleth.
How is this? Everyone is saying His Highness is back to his old self, but I do not think that is accurate. What he was until recently is what he had been for as long as I've known him. So tortured by his compassion for the fallen that it had driven him mad. He has always been too kind to be king. He has always felt too much for the weak and the dead. That is exactly why I look up to him.
Professor, I really caused trouble for you, didn't I? I am so sorry, truly. I am also eternally grateful to you. Now, it's time to go to the kingdom capital. I hope that you will lend me your strength once again.
So we're turning around and heading for the kingdom capital? Ridiculous. Tell him to cease this nonsense. Isn't there a saying in Fodlan? Something about those with power knowing how to use it. If he's not careful, the goddess will send her saints to smite him. Not that I believe that.
Well, some of them are kind of already here, and they're on our side, so...
Up until a few decades ago, Ferdiad was a disorderly city. Even the water supply was poorly constructed. As such, it was a hotbed of sickness and disease. The late king hired a researcher named Cornelia, who advised that he give top priority to improving the city's infrastructure. In the space of just a few years, the city was transformed into a place of beauty and order. At the same time, the diseases that had plagued our land loosened their grip, one after another. It was miraculous.
Huh, wow, maybe Cornelia's not all that bad.
I agree that we should head for Ferdiad, but let's not forget our search for Lady Rhea. The soldiers from the church are going to set up a base at the Great Bridge of Murden. They'll be able to keep up the search while we head for the kingdom capital.
Yeah, watch the skies for dragons, I guess.
The kingdom capital. It's been way too long since I was there last. Oh, Professor, I didn't mean... it's not that I'm looking forward to it or anything. Please don't tease me like that. It's just, when I think of us finally saving everyone in Ferdiad, it makes me a little happy. Okay, maybe a lot happy. The kingdom capital is under the tight control of Cornelia, who was ennobled by the Empire. Judging by what we heard from Lord Rodrigue, it sounds like she's a tyrant.
And judging what we heard by that guy, maybe she isn't.
All of that ends soon. Let's get there quickly.
Like, I kind of had this headcanon about Cornelia, but I probably don't want to spoil it just yet.
Professor? Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report.
Well, except for the fact that Dimitri's nice again.
Ferdiad is a city with a long history that goes back to before Fargus gained its independence. I'd like to visit that place at least once before I die. But I'm afraid I have my own work to attend to. It's hard being so dedicated. Ah, well. I'll go there for some leisurely sightseeing once Fodlan knows peace.
Wait, you're saying that you can actually move from this one spot? Blasphemous!
If you manage to take back Ferdiad, it'll make it a bit easier for us to do business. Taxes in the Fargus dukedom are ridiculously high. Makes it hard to even think about trading. That Cornelia woman. What does she use that ample tax money for anyway? From the Empire's perspective, I suppose it makes sense to squeeze the former kingdom territories for all they're worth. But if they throw those territories into total ruin, doesn't that defeat the purpose of conquering them?
Well, I have a theory as to what she's funneling all that money into, but I won't spoil it just yet.
The fish in this pond get fed every day, so they're swimming all lazy and serene. But the only reason they're kept here is so that they can one day be used for food. But the fish don't know that, so they just swim around happily. It's a bit of a miserable thought. But aren't soldiers much the same?
No Verona, again! But we suddenly have bajillions of gold. Oh great, Gilbert's got another supply run for us, doesn't he?
Professor, if we're headed to the kingdom capital, That means we're further away from rescuing Lady Rhea.
Why does everyone think she's in the Empire?
But it can't be helped, can it? Perhaps some people will question this decision, but I trust your judgment. Lady Rhea would want us to help in Ferdiad. She'd scold us if we rescued her and left innocent people suffering.
It seems we are headed for the kingdom capital this month. The Church of Seros stands ready to lend its aid to you and Dimitri.
And I deny those rumors that I am a saint planning to smite him down. Except I will definitely smite him if he continues to make eyes at my daughter like that.
It may be a roundabout route, but I believe this path will still eventually take us to Rhea. Besides, saving the people of Fargus is just what she would want us to do.
Yeah, pretty sure we'll just find Rhea naturally if we go along with this path.
Fighting with 3 different groups in the mix was as confusing as it was difficult to survive.
What are you talking about? The Alliance soldiers never attacked us.
Enemies and allies dying, one on top of the other. What an absolute mess, huh? If only I had my infirmary out in Gronder. Maybe I could have saved a few more lives.
RIP Alliance Sniper, the one Alliance casualty of that entire fight.
Edelgard, Claude, His Highness, all the house leaders from way back when, assembled again at Gronder. I wonder what their thoughts were as they headed out to the battlefield.
Well, Dimitri's thoughts were kill every last one of them. Claude's thoughts were, why is everyone being so dumb? And Edelgard's thoughts were, honestly, I'm actually not so sure.
The Emperor was wounded at Gronder Field. What do you think is going on in the Empire now? The Leicester Alliance has really suffered a blow as well. Who knows what will become of them?
Oh no, they suffered an amazing blow. They suffered the greatest blow ever, losing 1 sniper.
From now on, we have to pay close attention to how the rest of Fodlan is doing.
Yeah, pretty sure they don't expect you to play that battle that way.
I am very grateful to you. I could never have achieved this on my own. It is all thanks to you and Lord Rodrigue. This month, we will invade Ferdiad by way of the Fraldarius domain. Leave the negotiations with House Fraldarius to me. You make ready for the actual battle. It's a tricky business, but we are taking our first steps forward.
Well, hopefully they're not like, oh yeah, you technically were responsible for our Lord's death, so screw you.
I have a request.
Floral tribute, 2 camomiles and 1... Oh, that's the reward. Okay. Blue cheese, no. Lily of the Valley? Not pretty high rated flowers.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, yeah, there's a flashing spot, so they must mean specific flowers. I still need that 1 Verona. Why do I have 1 Verona?
There are stories of heroes' relics 1,000 years ago, of which we have no real evidence today. So many, in fact, that I'm led to wonder if those relics are nothing more than legends, especially since we know of relics like those passed down in the families of the 10 Fodlan elites.
What of this? There's a school of sorcery in Ferdiad, which is staffed by the top minds of magical research.
Yeah, we know at least 2 people who went, and the 3rd is dead now.
The study of crests and sorcery should not be separate. I've often thought I should pay them a visit someday. I never imagined I might end up invading the place with an army, though. Not how I imagined it at all.
Now I'm just imagining him charging in with like a huge battalion and going, I demand you hand over all your research! This is for the good of the world and science!
He'll need to excel as a leader if he's to make up for my old man's death. Though if my father could see Dimitri now, he'd be glad to have made the sacrifice. Don't you dare tell anyone I said that.
So, on a less humorous note, apparently, on the Black Eagle's route, or at least the Edelgard path, Felix can kill Rodrigue himself. Yeah. Like, I get that he doesn't like Rodrigue, but I don't think he'd ever kill him.
Ferdiad, huh? I've always wanted to go there, but I'd rather be visiting for fun and during a warmer season. And going into battle? Not exactly an appealing prospect. Hey, I'm just teasing. I'll do what I can to help. I'm just so relieved that Dimitri is his old self again.
And so relieved that your plan with Claude was pulled off successfully. So yeah, in my headcanon, Hilda had actually sent a letter to Claude in advance saying, if we ever meet on the battlefield, I'm gonna fake defeating you. And you're gonna play along, and they both agreed to that, so that's kind of my headcanon there. Can we actually eat with Dimitri? Yes, we can, but he doesn't like the daily special, so let's not do that. I know he's fully motivated, but... I know they're both fully motivated, but I'm doing this anyway.
Oh, this takes me back.
This is merely...
Well, I don't have a support between those two yet.
This is...
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Gladiolus, that's actually kind of interesting. Like, I sort of had this idea of, like a flower that, not flower, like a plant that has leaves that are sharp like blades that was actually used in swords for like some kind of universe that I was coming up with.
This month. Leave the nick. Is it tricky? Thank you. Thank you very much.
And we get Dusker Cavalry. Please tell me that comes with Stride, because that'd be amazing. Wow, look at all these things that Senator can teach Byleth.
A new path to improvement.
Yeah, he has different dialogue for that. I wonder if he's going to change his dialogue from now on. But anyway, I'm kind of tempted to do this. Oh, you poor, poor fools.
On to the next battle.
Yeah, I think he's lost his edgy dialogue.
I swear it wasn't in vain. I won't stop here.
Wait, you actually have a lot of damage on me.
Hate me if you must.
I don't like that crit rate, though.
On to the next battle.
I think that was a perfect way to end this, showing that Dimitri has new battle dialogue now. Because, yeah, one more thing that I want to say, though, before I close this off, there was a bit of a missed opportunity here. Now is when Dimitri should have got the Great Lord class. That would have made so much more sense. Why didn't they do that? Welcome back to more Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Last time, he's back. Dimitri is finally back. I've been rooting for that ever since the start of the time skip. I never thought it would actually happen. I was thinking the story would just end up going down a really dark path and then Dimitri would just completely lose his mind and die, but... You know what? There's still time for that to happen, so I probably shouldn't speak too soon. Anyway, this time there's going to be a few supports, most likely. Yes, I did in fact get Manuela and Sylvain. And then, like, I'm actually not really sure what's going to happen because there's not a lot in this month that I really feel the need to show. I feel like from now on that with us having so few paralogs available, because, like, I know that Linhardt's paralogue now actually involves Leonie, who I don't have, so I think I'm going to be missing out on his. So, yeah, the main story might go faster now. Now, I really hope this one doesn't become explicitly romantic, because, again, I'm kind of headcanoning again Byleth and Hilda, because, yeah.
This may seem a bit sudden, but I want to thank you, Professor. That is, for letting me live my life the way I want. I've noticed you've been giving me fewer of those soul-revealing gazes lately.
Well, I could make a joke about them being reserved for Hilda, but anyway.
I appreciate you making an effort to not trouble yourself over who I spend my time with. If you say so. But I notice you doing it all the same. It's kind of sweet in its own way. Professor,
May I tell you a story about when I was younger?
Younger as in much younger, or younger as in 5 years ago?
I was an orphan, living in the back alleys of Enbar, until one day I was overheard singing. That was when my new life began. I was suddenly a songstress in the Mittelfranc Opera Company. Performers, nobility. I met so many people. But none of them ever really knew me.
I wonder who that reminds me of. Yeah, wow, that's a lot like Rise.
I was just some young, pretty girl who could sing. A spectacle to be admired.
Again, like Rise.
Even though everyone praised my looks and my voice, and they showered me with gifts, I knew one day I'd be old. My looks would fade, my voice would change. I wouldn't sound the same. And I started to wonder, when I did get old, what would I have left? I'd be old, alone, and back on the streets of the capital, right where I'd started. You can never be certain about what the future will bring. I never had much to begin with in life, and I worry that one day I'll be that way again. That's why I keep searching for someone who will love me. Someone unaware of the songstress, who can love a girl that used to be scared and alone on the streets of the capital.
Well, I mean, you can actually have a fulfilling life without needing to love someone.
I wonder if such a strange person can even exist.
Oh wow, that's really it? Yeah, I guess, I like a lot of aspects of Dorothea, but she and Bernadette are, and to an extent Edelgard, are definitely the most waifu of the characters in this game, because it feels like her entire support chain with Byleth only makes sense if you're romancing her. I kind of wish there could be some way where she could, you know, realize that it's possible to find fulfillment without needing to find a romantic partner. Because, like, of all the characters that I have here, I'm not really sure who I would ship her with. I mean, I'm pretty sure Felix and Flayn is out at this point because of me going for Flayn and Dimitri, so that's an option. He's taken. She's... well, I mean, she wouldn't be available anyway, but still. Not too sure. Actually, you know what? I didn't find this one that bad from the D, but I'll have to see how that one goes. Caspar, I'm not sure. And, yeah. However, speaking of romantic aspirations...
Ugh, my head. Why am I here instead of the infirmary? When did I... Oh boy.
How are you feeling, Professor Manuela?
Sylvain? What do you need at this hour?
You don't remember? Well, you collapsed in the infirmary, and...
That doesn't sound like me. Wait, no, I remember. The truth is, something sad happened. So I did what I always do to forget my troubles.
Anyway, I found you passed out on the floor, helped you up, then carried you back here.
And what were you doing in the infirmary late at night? Not bringing a girl there, I hope.
Well, he was. You.
Nope. I was definitely alone. I just, you know, I just had a bad feeling, and I decided to look around to see if anyone needed my help.
Ugh, my poor head.
Are you all right? Here, have some water.
What a thoughtful young man you are. You're a real gentleman, compared to that jerk who just...
That good-for-nothing guy who strung you along, whispered sweet nothings in your ear, then shattered your heart beyond repair? I agree. He's a jerk.
But who does he remind you of, Sylvain?
Oh no. Did I say those things to you?
Actually, your version had more details. Very detailed details.
Oh dear.
You know, Professor, you're a good catch. It's a shame that you've had no luck with men. You need a guy like me. Somebody who sees your beauty and appreciates how tender you are, emotionally, and how much love you have to give.
You're a smooth talker, even when you don't mean what you say. I'm going to change, so shoot, okay?
Sure, I can take a hint. Rest up, Manuela.
Thank you, Sylvain. I'm going to try and get some sleep. Did he just call me Manuela and not Professor? That sly little... Although... Me? With Sylvain? Now there's a crazy thought.
Let's hope she doesn't turn into a yandere and try to kill Mercedes. Please, let's not have that happen. And, well, unless I want to buy some stuff from the markets, that's pretty much all we can do here. Is Dimitri going to be sitting beside Byleth at the table? Oh, no, actually. Who are those two vacant chairs for? First things first. Yes, now. Huh, I don't think I was even allowed to do Dimitri's goals earlier. That's been a long time. I mean, now that he's a high, like, he's had his best classes just handed to him, so he doesn't really need to train much in anything. And he has a legendary weapon, so he doesn't really need lances. I'll just put him on riding on authority for now. But, like, even then, his current battalion is just good enough as it is. Why not? It's a bit weird teaching him when he's looking like this, but still.
This will be useful. This will be... That...
Oh, no excellence. Well, perfect, anyway.
Let me ask you something.
Say I helped a drunk professor to my room and now she wants to date me. What should I do?
Huh.
Yeah, I thought he would like the middle option better. Flane. Is this A? Yeah, it would be A, actually. Wow, Byleth's really popular this episode.
Oh, hello, Professor. How nice to see you. You caught me off guard. I was actually just thinking about you. Just a moment ago? Well, I am afraid I just do not understand you.
Speak for yourself. You're probably a 1,000-year-old saint in disguise. Well, this is what you probably know.
When we first met, I sensed something different about you. Something mysterious. And now I am convinced your existence itself is very special. Thinking on it, I know it to be true. You have a crest that should have been lost long ago. You wield the sword of the Creator as if it is nothing. Your hair and eye color changed on that day 5 years ago.
Well, yeah, that's because he's half Sothis now.
To the same sort of color as mine and my brother's.
Yeah, that's significant, isn't it?
I do not know. My brother refuses to speak to me of it. Since then, you have led us into battle, and thus far, we have always come out victorious.
You know, now that I think about it, I mean, it's not quite the same shade of green, but if Sothis was the mother of Rhea, which is what I'm thinking, and that Rhea is Seros, and maybe she's related to Flane and Seteth, so then it's like a dragon blood thing.
Your comrades and colleagues adore you. They believe in you, in your strength. I doubt there is a single soul who is likened to you. Who are you, really?
I will just spell it out for you. Protagonist.
I simply do not understand. Whatever the case may be, having hair like mine is proof that there is something exceptional about you. I may as well come forward with things. I, too, am unlike others.
No, really?
Surely you recall when I was targeted, specifically for my blood? I may not be special in the ways you are, but my blood is rare. It seems the two of us share a special differentness. I also believe that we are bound together in some way. Of this I am certain. Therefore, I intend to stay by your side and watch over you. Your existence must be preserved at all cost.
Otherwise, we'll get a game over.
Certainly those are the words of a hero. Let us unite our powers. Together, we are unstoppable.
With your stride battalion and my dancing, we can cover the map in one turn. Okay, so she didn't outright say it, but still. It's pretty obvious she's Saint Sethlene at this point. But what that implies, yeah, I get the feeling the goddess and all of that divine blood is actually just dragon blood. Of course we're doing a tea party. Oh, right, yeah, A-supported tea parties are slightly different. I need to have tea with Hilda. Why haven't I done that yet?
Hello there. I'm here for a visit. Thank you. Whew, it's piping hot. Huh?
Okay. Okay.
Ghost stories.
Sure.
Nope.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't
Thanks
amazing.
for the treat. It was so yummy.
Are you gonna sing about it? And thus Byleth gets one step closer to ethereal beauty.
We will make a good team.
I feel the same. Have a look at how we did.
At last, Dimitri is non-angsty enough to take care of hairy horses.
I always was a quick study.
And now we have a fight monster day. Any other supports, though? Nope, nothing. Right. Isn't this the exact same map as, like, that other one? I do need to worry a little bit about getting too over-leveled, but... yeah. I suppose I have some people who are a little behind, and we didn't really level up very much in that last map, apart from Dimitri. I kind of wish there was some way that you could stop gaining experience, like turn off experience gain, but still gain class experience, because that'd be good if you're over-leveled like I am, but still want to get class experience. Yep, it's this exact same map we fought the wolf earlier. Except this time it's a bird!
I'll do what it takes.
I'm glad I can get ready when you are.
I'm glad I get ready when you are.
I've made good progress.
Okay, did I authorize you for Gremory already, or not? Because you have mastered Bishop. I think I did, so I might as well swap you over now. Oh, that does have a suggested level of 35, and I'm actually below that on some characters. Huh, this might actually make Gilbert more useful. Got a couple of Master Seals. And Shamir also has a decent shot at Bow Knight right now. The Great Knight Exam! You added movements to your original class, yet you still kind of suck in most games. Don't know why his color palette switched to red for this, though.
Success.
And he now has 10 speed. Wow, he is so incredibly fast. Blink and you will miss him. Might as well try this one. The Dark Knight Exam. How do you feel about dark, literally edgy black armor? Evidently he likes it. Wow, okay.
Okay. No big deal, really.
That's quite a big boost to magic, but I think I'll keep him as a paladin for the time being. He doesn't really have a lot of spells. Oh, Dimitri and Gilbert. And Hanneman and Annette? I might do those a little bit later, though, because we're going to have to just explore, because there's really nothing better to do today. There is a generic person over here that I apparently haven't talked to.
Say, I've come to deliver vegetables we harvested in the village to the monastery's dining hall. Because of the season, I couldn't really pick that much. But I wanted to help you guys out, even just a little bit. We're busily planting seeds, so when things start to grow, I'll be back.
And you're not actually going to give us anything. Come on, Verona. No! I'm gonna have that quest sitting in my inventory forever, aren't I? Whoa, what's that? Goddess Messenger. Okay, I must have missed that in the earlier sparkling water thing. I didn't realize there was an even better fish than what you could get there before. I'm sure comments have already long since chewed me out for that.
Bird back and go. Hey,
Oh, I should probably save first. This might be a bit of a waste of activity points, but we haven't actually seen Hilda's A version of Tea Time.
wow, thanks.
Now I better not screw that up, because I have a perfect streak to maintain.
Huh, so this is your room. Whoa, you got my favorite tea.
Like all the other times.
Oh, wow, thanks. Mmm. Yep. Your room's so neat. You should clean mine too.
Well, didn't you try and get a net to clean your room before? The streak continues!
No boring lectures, okay?
Oh, well, your dialogue doesn't actually change. Okay, I was thinking the dialogue would change if you were at an A. Like, I thought I was told that for some people you get conversations almost as significant as the Fate's face-touching scenes if you're at an A support.
Feeling a little bloated. Ate a huge meal earlier. No regrets, though. It was delicious.
Well, that's different.
It's nice to relax now and then.
Okay, so that is different. Oh, well, that does actually boost charm. How charming is Byleth right now? 40, yeah, but... Oh, Felix's bio didn't update to reflect his father dying. That's a bit of a downer to go into after that tea time, but anyway. So I've got a couple of supports that I can do here. I actually have Catherine and Byleth A. The funny thing is, I just kind of realized something. I think, like, let me just quickly look at Byleth's support for a second. So, if I get Eloise A, Shamir A, yeah, those are the only two I need. If I get these two A, I have access to every possible S support that Byleth has access to. And then Byleth became Gary Stu.
Professor.
I will not yield!
It's been a while since I had such a close call. If not for you, Professor, I wouldn't have made it. I didn't expect to be ambushed on a simple scouting mission.
Well, that's kind of like what Shamir was saying. If she doesn't report back from scouting, assume she's dead.
Yes, my objective was to gauge the enemy's strength. I'd say I was successful. I have to ask, Professor, what brought you here? So you came to protect me. I'm beginning to understand why your allies love you.
Love is certainly a word, considering how many S support options he has access to right now. But what I was going to say is that yes, Byleth had a ... vision that showed him that Catherine would want to talk to him right now.
These are selfish times. One doesn't expect to encounter selflessness. You're kind. In that respect, I'd say you're much like Lady Rhea. Of course. It's thanks to her kindness that I'm here today. I was an outlaw in Fargus. She took me in and let me live here.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Didn't I tell you? I was born into House Karen in Fargus. They used to call me Thunderstrike Cassandra. I was implicated in a plot to kill the king. It was a totally false accusation, of course.
Inside check.
I had to flee the kingdom, and the Archbishop took me in. I used to be a student at the academy, so I knew I'd be safe here. Lady Rhea saved me once when I was a student, you know. We were tasked with battling monsters, but we were ambushed. I almost died.
I think I remember her talking about this some other time.
Lady Rhea took care of me. She didn't mind getting dirty. She took my muddied, bloodied body into her arms. Since then, Lady Rhea has been my inspiration. I will always serve her, protect her, love her.
Well, that's interesting.
For some reason, when I think about Lady Rhea, your face comes to mind.
Yeah, maybe they are related in some way.
You've become an important presence in my life. I wasn't expecting you to have a positive response. I'm not thrilled about it personally. I am still going to keep my eye on you. Not so I can report to Lady Rhea, though.
Well, she's not even here for one.
Just because I want to.
Just don't spy on him all the time. And I also have, I think, yes, I have Dimitri and Gilbert C, as well as Hanneman and Annette. What's the Dedu support that I have? Oh, Dedu and Annette. Yeah, I might as well do this one.
Forgive me.
It's fine. Honestly, it's pretty funny when you think about it.
I did not expect the horse to react so violently when I approached.
No kidding. And I didn't expect the two of us to get covered in hay.
Animals have never taken to me. It must be as you said. My face is the problem.
Yeah, the scars don't exactly help.
I have not honed my smile well enough. I deeply regret the trouble I've caused.
Oh, I almost forgot the amazingness that was smiling to do earlier.
Don't be ridiculous. And especially don't be sad. It's no trouble at all, I promise. Everyone makes mistakes. Isn't that what you've been trying to teach me?
Yes, I suppose so.
It does look like this will take a while to clean up.
Oh, don't worry, Cyril's probably on it right now.
But if we work together, it'll be done in no time.
Oh wait, Cyril's already finished.
I am truly sorry.
Don't apologize. When it's your turn for stable duty, I'm happy to help.
Really?
Sure. And in return, you can help me out when I'm on kitchen duty.
Of course.
By the way, I tried out all that stuff you mentioned before, about how to not be a scatterbrain. I'm still pretty hopeless, but thanks to you, I'm making fewer mistakes. It's probably not a good idea for me to be left alone around knives and boiling water, though. That's why it'll be really nice knowing you have my back.
You have changed.
Huh?
You no longer fear approaching me for help. You simply ask. And now, when the need arises, I will rely on you, too.
That's a pretty decent one. B+. And then we have, okay, Hanneman and Annette, weirdly enough.
And that should explain it. Did you understand all of that, young Annette?
I did! Thank you very much. Oh, but I was also wondering about this part here. It seems a bit off.
Questioning something like this is proof that your understanding has grown. Most impressive. Sit there, and I'll put this on the blackboard so you may copy it into your notes for later study.
Wonderful! I can't wait!
I believe that should explain everything, yes? Any further questions?
None. Thank you so much. I feel so great. I'm really sorry for taking up so much of your time, though.
Not at all. Not at all. Your intellectual curiosity is marvelous to see. And you have a top-notch character. Keep on as you are, and I sense a bright future for you.
Really? That's so nice of you to say. I'll do my best. I'm honored to be your student.
If only your friends would learn from your example. Yes, a classroom full of attentive, studious pupils would be quite refreshing after all these years.
Otherwise known as the exact opposite of my Year 9 math class. I think I told that story in the Persona 3 playthrough. It was bad. It was really bad. In fact, when I went, like, I had an actual class reunion semi-recently, and even, you know, 10 years on, my classmates remember how bad that class was. That should tell you something.
Have a good evening, Miss Annette, and do not hesitate to ask any other questions.
I won't, thank you. Goodbye for now.
Wait, you'll trip if you leave like that.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Glad they stopped her before she tripped on an invisible box again. Yeah, that support's actually pretty nice because for a game that's about teaching, you weirdly don't see a lot of the teachers do any actual teaching, so that's kind of cool. This should be interesting, though.
Gustav, it has been 8 years since I last called you by that name.
Your Highness, I must deeply apologize for leaving the kingdom without permission. I was...
So these are two knights who are learning to get it to let go of regret, basically.
There is no need to explain, old friend. I can guess at your reasons. The tragedy of Dusker. You felt responsible for that incident and sought respite in the goddess, abandoning your name, rank, and homeland in repentance. Am I right?
Oh yeah, that all makes sense now. So finally get a really clear picture of exactly what happened.
I have no excuses to offer. It was all I could think to do.
I always knew you for a pious man, and I figured that if you were to leave, this is where you would end up. You have changed much. Your face does not have the same resolve it once did.
If I may, Your Highness, you have changed as well.
I can't disagree.
It was my duty to protect His Majesty, your father. Naturally, that also included Lady Patricia and yourself as well.
Well, Lady Patricia's chances of being evil are quite high at this point.
My father and mother are gone. No amount of regret will bring them back.
My dreams are haunted by the thought that had I arrived at Dusker more swiftly...
If only my speed was above -50 back then.
You saved my life at Dusker. I have only gratitude for you, no blame to speak of. I wish for you to remain in the kingdom, Gustav. Even after this conflict is over. I need your strength to help rebuild the ravaged land that Fargus has become.
Please, I beg your forgiveness. But there is no place left for me in that land.
I see. Though much has changed, your stubbornness remains. I have no desire to trouble you. If you do not wish to return, that is your choice to make. But I do advise you to at least visit the place of your birth. If only for your family's sake.
Yes, Your Highness. Thank you. I appreciate your concern.
Well, we're going to be visiting it pretty soon anyway. So that was a decently timed support. And, yeah, let's just advance the week. My recording time is already over an hour, but I'm pretty sure, like, most of this is getting cut. Let's see what Auto Instruct does. Probably nothing decent. No, that wasn't bad. And we have a Saint Day coming up. Probably a saint who's actually not at the academy right now. Yeah, that's like that tactician saint, unless Byleth is that guy.
May my song reach the goddess in the sky.
By the way, I was actually best friends with that guy in real life.
Yeah! I'll sing so loud that my voice is gonna reach the sky!
Okay, so I guess the, yeah, that recital actually gave me enough points for this.
Do you have a minute, Professor? I gotta talk to you. I've been thinking a lot about those brigands with the scorpion tattoos, and I realized something.
Yeah, this is a chain that I definitely wanted to see to the end, because it sort of had its own subplot.
I mean, I'll feel better if I get this off my chest, right? Okay, listen. I can't deny who I am. I know you were right 5 years ago when you told me not to chase after that suspicious guy, but I still can't get over the possibility that he might have hurt those kids. I would have regretted not stopping him for the rest of my life. There's no way I could forgive myself. It sounds awful to say, but the safety of those kids is more important to me than the knights we lost. I'm sorry, Professor, but I can't promise that I won't disobey your orders in the future. I know. It's too big a risk to keep me around.
No, that's not what we
I
meant.
won't cause a fuss. I'll just pack my bags and... Wait, what? I guess so. You're really okay with me sticking around? Even if I might not always follow orders? People could get hurt if you let me keep doing things my way. Just like that? I almost can't believe it. I really struggled to come to this decision, you know? I want to stand by your side, but I won't stop standing up for what I believe in. I know I might cause trouble for everyone, but I just... You know, I give up. I've got nothing else to say. I should have just kept my mouth shut. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Professor. Thanks for accepting me for who I am. I'm glad I get to keep fighting by your side.
Good result.
Still a long way to go.
Let's put this to the test.
Wait, really? Another one? Oh, I can do that later. Oh, okay, that's actually an A support. Right, I guess we can see this.
May I discuss something with you? I promised to help you find the truth of who you are, but I'm afraid it's not that simple. There are some details I have kept concealed. 5 years ago, before she vanished, I asked Rhea some pointed questions.
I hope this doesn't spoil anything ahead of time.
I learned that she knows everything about you. No, that is understating it. Rhea is responsible for your existence.
I kind of figured that.
I could explain to you here and now what fragments of knowledge I was able to pry from Rhea. I fear, however, that a partial understanding might do you more harm than good. Once we save Rhea, you will know the whole of it.
Yeah, they're gonna save it for later, aren't they?
For now, that is all I can tell you. If you are still uncertain about your feelings...
Like, I kind of feel like Rhea infused Byleth with some of her essence or something when he was a baby. And then there was that line, like, your mother, she was my ... Like, what does that mean?
Then permit me to add one more thing. You, Rhea, and I, we are like family. Because of those deep ties, you can be certain that I will never abandon or betray you. On the contrary, I greatly wish to see what your future holds. I am, and will always be, your ally. You're not wrong. History is full of examples.
And, you know, there's the Black Eagles route, where Seteth is probably going to be an enemy.
I don't believe that will be the case here, but I suppose all I can do is ask for your trust. The truth is, you have become indispensable to me, and that is true quite independently of whether I see eye to eye with Rhea, or even whether we are friends. After this war is over, where I go and what I do will depend wholly on you. I am still trying to figure that out myself. Perhaps it is just that I find you so fascinating that I cannot bring myself to leave your side. I dislike a one-sided conversation, but in this case, I am afraid I had no choice.
Kind of lampshading there.
Our future is yours to determine.
Interesting. Well, I don't know if you'll really have that choice at all later on. And anyway, it is time for another beast battle.